You have a disturbing memory in mind?
Yeah, I have one. I did the sort of float back, but I was confused about doing the two targets because they both kind of connect up. They're both I mean, the second one was when you said a scene from a movie, a childhood, scary memory popped up, but it was all from probably around the same time that when I did the float back.
Mhm.
That was around
Same
the
feelings.
same. There was more fear associated with the second one well, it was a different kind of fear. I have the
Yeah.
same, there's fear with both, but the first one, the float back had sadness in the throat and then fear in the chest area.
And and how did they resolve, or they got stuck, or what happened?
I think they got stuck because I was like, I think my head kind of got in the way. I started when you finally did some of the passes, I started to actually speak my PEF out loud, and that helped, even though that helped me to not focus on the upsetting memory better. But it wasn't like going down as much as I remember it going down with like the stuff I targeted when I took level one, which was, by the way, before the pandemic. So it's been a minute,
Uh-huh.
but
So, which one is still the most disturbing?
the first one, I would say the first one is more disturbing.
And can you tell me something about what that was about, generally?
So I have like had this, I'm gonna say have because I still kind of have it, but fear of like nighttime if I'm home alone. When I was a kid, I had a really hard time sleeping in my bed by myself, and I would often end up in my mother's bed. And then there was this dilemma, or just I never knew. It was very unpredictable whether she'd let me sleep in the bed or try to make me sleep in my room at first. And there would often be this back and forth kind of push pull, and the memory one, I mean, it's probably an umbrella scenario here, but the one that I pulled up was one where she told me to stay in my room, and I remember that I fell asleep like in the threshold of so I technically was in my room, but I wasn't fully in my room. It's like halfway out the door, you know
Uh-huh.
because I just hated being in that upstairs area by myself. I was just terrified.
Mhm.
So,
And how disturbing is that to think about now?
um, it feels like a seven. Like I feel like my teeth want to chatter a little bit, and it's like a 7, 8, maybe. I can
Mhm.
feel that gripping in my chest, and my heart rate's up. And
Mhm.
uh,
Louis, are you going to do an umbrella
Um,
processing?
yeah, that's a good idea. So, when you think of this interaction with your mother,
mhm.
that happened a number of times. Is that
Count,
right? Uh-huh.
countless times through my childhood.
And what are the common elements of that? Was there a sound of your mother's voice, a look at her face? Um,
I
what?
don't remember her face a lot. I remember often when she would put me in my bed, I had these like Holly Hobby, this is like you know, early 70s. I had the Holly Hobby like images on the wall, and they were kind of even scary to me, those little girl images framed on the wall. And the window was, my bed was right up against the window, and it was dark. And I hated that. And I remember saying over and over again, "You're going to check on me, right? You're going to check on me. You're going to check on me." Like as though something was going to come in the window. I feel like distress in my throat as I'm talking about it right now. Like I could cry thinking about
Oh,
it.
it's increasing.
Yeah.
So, so that's what you did. What did she do when you said that?
She would like try to reassure me and say, of course, I'm going to check on you, and, it's fine. And, all the platitudes that, a parent might say, but I think my mother was a very anxious person herself. So I don't think her nervous system could calm my nervous system at all, like at all.
And did she seem anxious at those times?
I don't recall. I just know I sense like tightness in my chest as I'm talking about it. I think her leaving, you know, my sense of safety was like against her or near her in some way. And when I was separated from her would be the biggest distress.
So the memory is her turning away and
Yeah,
walking out the door.
leaving, yes, leaving was awful, awful.
And then the window probably is another indication of distress.
Yeah, I was
Picturing the
sure I was
window.
going to see a scary face in the window or something, even though we were up, I was up on a second level. It was like something was going to come to the window, and
So
it was,
her leaving and the window, and when you just think about that now, how disturbing is your mom leaving and the window?
I mean, now it feels like an 8, 9.
Uh-huh. And what do you have a PEF?
I do.
Uh-huh. And would you be willing to tell me about
I'd be happy to tell you that.
it?
Best thing ever. This was about 8 years ago. It was about almost exactly 8 years ago. I
Uh,
was seeing Sting at the Masonic Theater here in San Francisco.
oh yeah.
I got sound check passes, and there were about 150 of us, and we asked if anybody wanted to come on stage to sing, and my friend pointed wildly at me, and
So
he said,
you were on the stage with Sting?
"Yeah." So I got to sing on stage, sing.
Oh, Flash. Uh, how fun was that?
Oh my God, it was amazing. And he took me and one other woman, and we got on stage, and he said we'd go, you know, in turns, and he was going to play Every Breath You Take.
Flash.
And when we were on our way up to the stage, the woman behind me said, "Can you sing?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I can't sing." And I said, "Why are you volunteering to sing then?" And so we got up on the stage,
Uh,
and he said, "We're going to go in turns." And he starts the song, and he sings the first line, and I sang the second line. He sang the
Flash.
She sang the third line, and he made a face like he had like tasted poison. And I decided I wasn't going to give up my chance, so I held onto that microphone with my hand, and I just started singing right over her.
Flash.
She was still leaning forward singing, but I don't remember her at all. She was
Uh,
just there doing
Tell her to
whatever
lip sync.
what
Flash.
she was doing. I don't know. I was singing with him and looking at him and singing and looking at him.
Oh my gosh.
And
Flash.
and then we were harmonizing, and he said, "Oh, she's harmonizing."
Flash.
And and we got to sing the whole entire song with him. And
Let's take a break
yes,
and just check lightly into the memory. Don't get into the details this time. Just go over the top and see if it seems different in any way.
I'm going to take a bet that it's way lower.
it is way lower. It feels really far away. It feels super. Before it felt like on me, and now it feels way far away, like in distant, like there's fog there or something.
And as you know, far away is the most common response, and it's exactly what we're looking for. It's
It means
getting
adult perspective.
It's getting in the adult perspective. It's getting right sized. Anyway, let's go back to so you're singing along with Sting, and you just automatically harmonized.
I just started harmonizing, and then he said, "Oh, you go," and then he backed up and was just playing the bass, you know, his signature bass.
And you were playing, and you were singing.
Singing.
Flash! Oh my God!
And
you didn't give up your therapist career and take to the road.
oh, I would have in a heartbeat. It was amazing, you know, and I could see everybody down in the audience, you know, yelling.
Flash!
And we were going back and forth, and we sang the whole song, which he doesn't do at every sound check when he was inviting people, but
Flash!
He let us sing.
What a sweet thing for him to do, to invite people up to the stage for the sound check, huh?
Wonderful. He sadly doesn't anymore, but I was so
Although
glad.
it's kind of a vicious song.
Oh, it is such a vicious song, which people don't often get, which is thankfully you know that. That's great. Just
Flash.
some people have it played at their weddings, and I'm like, what is wrong with
Wait a second. That's not setting a good.
That's just not right.
Not a good precedent there. Flash.
But my inner, 12-year-old was just rejoicing. Who,
Oh my God.
watching the music video on MTV, and I got to sing the whole thing with him. And then he kissed me on my cheek and was
Oh my gosh. Flash.
he said, "You did really good." And
That's a memorable experience. Flash.
Oh gosh.
and you weren't allowed to take any video or photos during the thing, but my friend took a really fuzzy, far away video. So thankfully I do have
Flash.
thing on video.
So when people say, that's bullshit, you did that, you say, I got proof.
I have video proof.
Well, you don't have to do anything else in your life. You've done it.
You've been a rock star, so there you go. Let's take a break. And so you can say, when I recorded with Sting. So, and when you check into the memory, does it seem different in any way now?
It just feels, it feels like, I don't know, it feels gone. It feels like a static picture, maybe, like really super, I don't know, like it's hard for me to pull it up at the moment.
And is it disturbing at all when you think about it now? Check and see.
I guess like that woman with her dog story, I feel sad for that little girl who had to endure all of it. But I don't, it doesn't feel on me. It feels like I can cover that little one now. And
that's one of the most wonderful therapeutic things that can happen is self-compassion. Yeah. And so that's not anything we have to fix. Do you have some words that would go with this, what you've learned?
Before you go into that, I want to know, when you imagine being alone at night now, how disturbing is that?
I'd say it's about a 3-ish, somewhere around there. I'm in the middle of a therapeutic separation from my partner, so this is all brand new. He just moved out like a few days ago. So I'm alone in the house for the first time in this house for, so I think there's a certain amount of maybe ecological validity to the distress.
Well, is it loss or fear of being alone?
The night is hard. The night is hard, and I do feel a little distressed back here when I talk about the night being hard. Nights are difficult. So to make myself go to bed at night, go to sleep, and turn out the light is hard.
That's fear.
My cats don't always comply and come to the bed to be. They behave like cats sometimes. And
so let's do a set on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Masonic Auditorium.
Okay.
This is where you get to sing for us.
Oh God. What I remember is him singing over, at the very end, when they go to the every breath you take, every you make, every bond you break, every step you take. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play.
Flash. So that's the kind of the fade out at the end.
And he's singing, he's like doing his own modulations over that. And
right.
And remembering getting to do that. And I think my head in the video, I'm like singing and whipping my head. Like I'm like trying to sing into the microphone and look at him all at the same time.
So you stay synchronized with him, yeah. Flash, yeah, that's great. And then, what was it like when you were in the audience and you heard him sing it for the show? Oh
my God! And then he made eye contact with me like a million times during the show because I was
right up front, huh?
And I flew to LA to see the shows down in LA at the Palladium, and we had sound check there as well. And then he remembered me from the San Francisco show, and made eye contact with me and pointed at me a few times.
Oh,
And
well,
Oh.
Flash. Oh, man, you almost joined the band there, huh?
we also share a birthday, I will say. So he
Flash. Oh, well, that.
That does it. That cements it.
Flash, that's.
Gandhi share a
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah. He's a very interesting character, Sting is.
He is. He is
Yeah,
quite a character.
yeah. Flash. All right, let's take a break and now check into your current situation and see if it seems different in any way.
It feels much lower, like more manageable, like it's just day to night. It's just nighttime, and need to sleep, and sleep is a good thing. And I feel like I don't know, it feels much lower, like maybe a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what makes it as much as a 1?
I think that part is the fact that's more of the unknown. Like, I don't know what the next 6 months is going to look like, and are we really going to get back together, or is this?
But
And
it's not about the boogeyman.
not about, no, it's not. It doesn't feel about the fear of the nighttime. No.
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. Is there
Great.
anything else you'd like to ask her, Phil? Or
No,
No.
I'm ready to go up and sing with Sting.
Anyway, we're very appreciative of your willingness to come up and be a demonstration subject. It was a beautiful demonstration.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Choosing me, I really appreciate it and needed it. Thank you so much.
All right.